And now that that piece of the front end is level, I can start cutting the rest of the car apart so I can make the rest of it level by making it unlevel first. Am I doing this again? Exactly. On this third episode in the Chambler build series, I'm going to go ahead and cut the front bumper off. That'll give me access to pull some of the trim panels in the very front, and then I'm going to level the front end, the very front at the headlights and the front fenders. It's a lot bigger task than it might sound like. I hope you follow along. There's a lot of interesting stuff I do as we move through this video. Without further ado, let's get to it. Thanks for watching. The program for right now is to go underneath, see how the bumper's actually mounted on, and see what else I can take apart without messing the structure up too much to figure out exactly where I'm at. We're in front of the driver's side wheel. He welded brackets to the unibody structure of the Cherokee for the Chambler bumper. It looks like all the structure holding the Rambler body, the Cherokee chassis, is the spring pockets. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do here. I think I'm likely going to take the bumper off, so it'll give me a better chance of seeing it. And then I should be able to make mounts to mount the front end to the Cherokee chassis. And then hopefully I can start to reshape everything. But it's going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and pull the bumper bolts. This should be entertaining. There's a lot of crust coming out of there. Oh, that's not good. Oh, good. The head of the fastener is just rotating. That's great. I'm wondering if I should just cut this bracket off and just be done with it. Part of me doesn't want to until I know more about what's going on with the car, but I don't think I'm going to have a choice. I'm going to go ahead and take my custom battery tray out of the way, and then I should have better access to cut those brackets off, hopefully from the top, so I don't have to lay in a shower of sparks, which would be nice. Oh, that sucked. Wouldn't call this my finest creation, but at least it did, serve its purpose, but I'm glad it's going. I have better access now on both sides to go ahead and cut that bracket. I'm not going to try to grind the welds off. I'm just going to cut it the lower section and let the bumper drop free onto jack stands or something to catch it because I don't want to damage it on the floor. Switch stopped working. Can't turn it on or off by the switch. That's cute. Guess I'll get a new grinder. This might be entertaining. Or not. Perfect time for my grinder to die. Well, that was fun. The bumper is off, thankfully. The only casualty is my 20-year-old $20 Harbor Freight grinder finally gave up the ghost, so I guess I'll have to go get another one. Now that I have the grill and the front bumper off, my next step is going to be pulling this trim panel. I need to find a way to support the front of the vehicle so I can start taking some of these other pieces off that he has as supports. There would have been more fasteners if this was retained right, but there's only one on either side. I'm going to take those off now and pull this panel. I'm going to leave it in here loosely so that when I take the other side off, it doesn't just completely fall down. Nope, I was wrong. There is another one up here. I was wrong on both sides. There's an extra one on the top. Throw this back in real quick. gonna pull them both and see if I can tilt it up and get a little better angle at it. The extra bolt's hiding up there. I don't want it bending itself out of shape any more than it already has. Same thing on this side, it's hiding up in here. Okay. Whew. Cherokee+Rambler. Cherokee+Rambler, Cherokee+Rambler, Cherokee Chambler. Hey! I really got myself into a mess. Holy crap. Part of the build sheet / VIN tag for the Cherokee. This trim panel has definitely seen better days. It's in pretty rough shape. Thankfully it's not rusty. But it's definitely dented, smacked, and broken. I'll have to see what I can do to fix it, or if I'm going to fix it. Right now I need to figure out how to straighten that Cherokee front cross member and that hood bracket support system that was from the Rambler. It's all twisted up, so I need to try to square that or at least take it off for the time being. Yeah, that's great. That's our hood catch release lever, by the way. I was trying to figure out how they bent this up. I'm assuming they did it when they tied it down to the trailer, thinking this had a lot more structure to it than it does, and bent it. I'm going to use my extensive collection of frame straightening equipment to see what I can do to pull the back lip out, and probably not straighten this, but at least get it more in form. Basically, I'm just going to keep doing that for the next hour and a half, little bits at a time. That's what I can physically do, and that should actually help it. It's still going to be bowed out, but once I get this piece sorted down, it should allow me to push this back some. It's slowly getting there. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be a lot better than it was. Now it only looks just as mangled as every normal Cherokee in Michigan, so that's a win. I'm going to have to hit the store tomorrow, get some raw materials. I think I know how I can support the front end, but I need to go get the parts and put them in my hands. I picked up this 1x1 1/8" wall angle iron. I'm going to use that to support the front end as I start to take things apart. First thing I'm going to do is have to cut some of the pieces off. I'm going to come in on both sides, right past this ear, and lop this piece of metal off. It'll also help me clear the radiator. Once I get both sides cut off, I'm also going to check, and if I have to, I'll re-level the chassis. The cuts are going to be different side to side because I need space around the radiator. So I'm going to do the passenger side first because it's probably going to be easier because it's much straighter panels. And then I'll see where I'm at, and then I'll adjust on the driver's side as I need to. So let's get cutting. I've got enough space from the bracket, which is what I wanted, but I'm likely going to have to come back and trim this at an angle and come down because I want enough clearance around the radiator. I don't know if I'm just going to simply do a notch cut or what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to leave that alone for the time being. First thing I'm going to do is lift the radiator up and hopefully back a bit. I don't want it to get rubbed on by the bracket as I'm cutting it. I'm likely going to have to replace this radiator, but still, I don't want coolant everywhere. Let's put the radiator back in position and check it. I've got good clearance, which is great. I'll clean all the cuts up, and I think I'm done on this side, and I'll reevaluate the passenger side as I'm going along here. The replacement Bauer grinder I got is working great, much better than the old one. Not bad for a $40 tool. I'm very happy with it so far. I came back in and cleaned everything off, and I made a little notch to clear the radiator out petcock. So the measurement across the frame is 0.1 degree out. The measurement across the core support is 0.6 degrees out, so I've got about 0.5 degrees I've got to adjust this to, and then I can put that bar across the front. I had considered getting square tubing, and I'm glad I didn't. I couldn't get the same wall thickness. This is at least 1/8 of an inch angle iron. It also gives me clearance for my hand for the hood release. I'm going to go ahead and square this angle iron up lengthwise, side to side, and then I'll position it, drill some holes in it, and get it bolted on before I start trying to square up the fenders and the core support. Let's go mark it out and drill some holes. Let's see how this new spring tool I picked up at the PRI show works out. I used a washer to space it out because there's also a kerf edge in here, and I don't want this to be a problem when I go to bolt them together. And I spaced it. This is the edge. This is that first dimple in the frame. This is the next one, and there's things in the middle where there's holes. Also, there's a frame rail chunk that's about this big here, so I had to space them over. They're a little tighter than I wanted them to be, but it's going to work out just fine. I went ahead and drilled all the holes out. I'm going to line it up and just blow through it with the step bit, because it's thin sheet metal. I want everything to line up well. I'll likely resize both pieces so I have some play. I'm going to have to pull this Christmas tree fastener off. It's interfering with the bolt. I might as well pull its friend off as well. Going here. Go ahead and tighten these into place. I'm going to start in the center, work my way out, and drop the ratchet. If I had the right socket, probably. What in the wild, wild world of sports is? Okay. Just gonna get them all close, and I'll position stuff if it's out of alignment. So now I get the wrench out. There we go. Keep dropping that ratchet. The positioning is good. I'm going to go ahead and tighten down the outer bolts, and then I'll figure out where the heck I'm going to mount it to the body. I also have to figure out how I'm going to raise and level the body. It's going to be kind of interesting. I have some options, but let's see what actually works out. On both sides of the vehicle where the body meets this bracket for the front, there's about a 3/8 of an inch gap. I couldn't move this bar back any farther, and this is not going to be the final positioning of this, and likely not the final design. What I'm going to do temporarily is cut a 3/8 inch thick piece of MDF to slide in there to brace it. Again, that's not going to be permanent, and it'll also melt with water, so it wouldn't do any good anyway. I'm going to go ahead and cut two pieces 3 inches long, 1 inch tall by 3/8 of an inch thick for the spacers. I went ahead and marked out drilling dimensions on both sides, 2.5 inches in from the edge, and then 1.5 inches from there. I'm going to drill out just the angle iron, and then I will drill out the spacer and the body once I get it leveled. I'll go ahead and put 2 holes through this one, and then once I get the other side drilled out and get this leveled out, we'll put it all together. Go ahead and see if this works. I'm going to try it in a different position. It was zeroing it, but I'm afraid it was pushing out on the fender too much. I'm going to see if I can lift up at this point. No guarantees, but I think it'll give me a little better results. Here goes nothing. Leveling the bodies actually pushed this inner fender piece closer to the bar, so I'm not going to be able to get this spacer in there. I'm just going to have to let it run. There's basically no gap on this side, a little bit at the top. I'm likely going to have to throw some washers under this bolt because I'm afraid it's just too far apart. I don't want to damage anything. I'm going to try to slide 3/8 washers in there and see if it'll work. I'm going to go ahead and try to slide 2 3/8 washers in there and see if it'll work. Yep. There you go. Recheck my level. Adjust it just a hair. Seriously. Small vibration. I think it moved just a bit. There we go. Let's do the driver's side. The guts come up in such a weird way that some of the stuff is just twisted right in the path I need it to not be in. I'm gonna fix it. That was fun. I'm just gonna keep doing the washer trick, so we'll see how these work. I could drop them. That worked out much better. Apparently it's drop everything I own day. I'm gonna go ahead and lock down the inner bolt. The outer bolt's gonna take a little bit more finagling. I'm gonna have to bend this flange a little more out of the way. I'll show you once I've got everything bolted together. Like I said in the video about 30 seconds ago, I had to reposition that flange and move it around so I can get that bolt in on the cross bracket. We'll lower the jack and hopefully everything settles right where I want it to be. Fingers crossed. Let's see where we are after the jack is released. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna have to go ahead and loosen the passenger side, push this up a little higher than I want it to be, and then it should resettle. Or the jack will let loose. One of the two. I'll be back. Everybody cross your fingers for me, please. This is when working by yourself kind of sucks. It's still better. I'll take it for now. I would have taken 2, I'm not going to take 3. I might have to regroup and phone a friend here. Well, I phoned a friend and he came in clutch. I forgot I had this thing in the corner. My friend here definitely helped a lot. And now that that piece of the front end is level, I can start cutting the rest of the car apart so I can make the rest of it level by making it unlevel first. Am I doing this again? Exactly. I had a marginally successful run to the junkyard today. I was only able to find 2 more jacks, so I think I'm going to have to change up my strategy with how I'm leveling the body and the frame. I have to change the couple of the points where I pick up to level out the chassis. I'll show you that now. So I'm still picking up the 2 points in the front, but I'm going to leave just the rear right in front of the shackle brackets as my secondary pickup point. And then I'm going to use the rest of the jacks to kind of level out the body. So I need to start cutting the body free. First thing I'm going to do though is take as much of the dash apart as I can. I decided my best course of action is to pull the 2 jacks from the rear part of the Rambler frame and move them into where the Cherokee frame actually stops. This whole area is getting more and more to be a problem the more and more I think about it. See how many times I can say more and more. I'm likely going to have to come up with a better solution for at the very rear of the Rambler until I can combine it with the Cherokee and truly make it the Chambler. Probably look through the Harbor Freight catalog or look for some type of hydraulic thing that I can use as something else in the future, because I can't just keep buying tools for nothing. This is a fun project, but you know, I do have to sort of try to maintain a mild budget. I'm going to try to get the jack into a position where it catches as many of the spot weld joints of the sheet metal of the frame as humanly possible. Now I'll start working on the dash. I'm going to go ahead and end the third episode of this series right here. I've got everything as level as I can get it for the time being, so it's safe for me to be in and out of the vehicle. The very next video, I'm going to pull the dash, headliner, and a ton of the interior, and we'll start pulling all this garbage he put in here apart so I can evaluate everything and start getting a plan together for all the sheet metal and the other basic building materials I'm going to need. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stick with me. It's going to keep getting more and more interesting. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Please check out all my friends. See you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.